So let's start standing up with our feet a little bit wider than our hips. So we really want to find that foundation, that connection between the floor and our feet. And then take a deep breath in and a long breath out. So as you exhale, you can close your eyes here if you want to. I like to do that to just really feel where my body is going. So as you exhale, see if there is maybe a little bit more connection happening with your feet. And I don't mean like, oh, wait, yes, I'm pushing down. It's just that sensation that you feel, oh yeah, now I feel the floor a little bit more. So, and then take a deep breath in, lift your chest up. So keeping the feet like they are, don't work too much in the legs. We're just gonna lift the chest up. So if you would take your fingers and place them just under your collarbones, and then start to gently press your collarbones up. So your collarbones are not gonna move, but it's gonna give you the direction of lifting the chest bone, and the shoulder blades will go down. Then just bring your arms alongside again. So take a deep breath in, and then lengthen your cervical spine. So our legs are still quite relaxed. Our abdominals probably have kicked in just a little bit, but I want to really work on this opening of the chest first. So lengthening the cervical spine. Inhale, and then as you exhale, bring the chin to the chest. Keep it there. Relax your shoulders, but see if you can still bring those shoulder blades back. So we didn't bring the collarbones back forward. They're still in the same place. Take a breath in. Maybe come a little bit closer with your chin. And then inhale, lift your head up again. And then as you exhale, you're going to look to the right. And then coming back to center, and then look to the left. And where are you with your mind now? Are you into that movement of your head? Or are you connected with your whole body? Or maybe just a part that's a little bit annoying this morning. So let's do this one more time, each side. Working with the breath if you can. And then coming back to center. So for now, leaving the legs just stable. So not lifting the kneecaps or activating. We just want to feel that we're stable onto our legs. And we're going to inhale and reach the arms up. Interlacing your hands and press your palms up. So strong legs. We're not working so much with the legs again. From the hips, see if you can almost like position your hips where they are, and then from the hips start to lift up. So this should give a little bit more of a stretch to both of the sides of your body. Inhale, and then bring your arms a little bit more back. So if your shoulders are very stiff, having the hands interlaced might be too much for you. So if you want to let go of your hands, then turn the palms forward and show your armpits. But still try to find that length. So when your shoulders are a bit stiff, sometimes it's more difficult to lengthen the elbows. So just see if you can find that length on the sides. And then from here, let's move to the left. So in between two walls, legs don't get more active. So we're just holding on to that stability into our legs, opening up the right armpit. So the upper armpit is going to open up. You can pull with your hand to do that. And then coming back to center. Lengthen out again, and then go to the other side. So opening the left armpit now. Inhale, exhale. And then coming back. And then bring the arms forward. Palms are facing forward. And then press your arms away. So this time, the shoulder blades are going to separate from each other. You're going to press forward. So normally what we would do here is bend our knees so we can really work with our whole body. But we want to keep our legs just strong and stable. And just work with your shoulders, with that upper part of your upper body. And then let your hands go. Palms are on the outside, and as if you're pressing something back. pressing back, all the way back. So your fingers are wide and open, stretch into the fingers until you can reach your hands together. And again, interlace your fingers, and this time roll the shoulders back. Watch out for your head that you don't compensate. Lengthen the arms. And then open your chest. So from here, we want to pull our arms down, opening the chest. If you have the space into your shoulders, you can lift them up. If for you, clasping the hands together is not possible, you take a belt or whatever you have available, a towel will work too, and you place it like this, and you work like this. So if you know you have tight shoulders, you should always have something that looks like a belt. And then from here, so still with our legs strong, but not totally active, we're gonna bend from the hip crease. So because our muscles are in the legs are a little bit more relaxed, maybe we can go a little bit further. So as you come to a certain point, you will feel that your shoulders start to come forward. So keep the shoulders going back, pull your arms back, and only go as far as your hamstrings will allow. So no tension here, just releasing. And just observe what kicks in. It's like for me, by example, my kneecap suddenly started to lift. So I feel that my quads are starting to activate to help me with this pose. So I don't even have to think about it. It's a learning process to be able to observe what happens in your body. So if you want to do that, go ahead. Otherwise, just enjoy the poses. So reaching the heart forward, going a little bit deeper maybe, keeping the legs straight for now. So if you're here, that's perfectly fine. Respect where you are. And then let's go of the arms. Just let them fall forward. So now your shoulder blades are by gravity just separating. And then from the hip crease again, let's start to fold forward. This time, drop your head, round your spine. So probably at a certain moment, your hamstrings are saying, no, no, no. So then you start to bend your knees very slowly. Going down, going down, going down until your hands touch the floor. So maybe you're very deep. You want to reach the palms up. So don't place your palms down because then we will have, probably we want to push into the floor, which is absolutely not what we want to do. So inhale, drop your head, drop your upper body, really feel that letting go. Drop into your shoulders. So if you feel that your hands are still holding or pushing in a way or another, grab the opposite elbows. Drop your head, letting go. Exhaling. And then undo your hands. Place your hands behind your calf muscles. So that can be at the height of your ankle or much higher. And then start to lengthen your legs, if that's possible. So no pain in the lower back. If you're already at your max, with your legs stretched, with your legs bent for your lower back, don't go any further. So you're gonna be where you are. We wanna respect the lower back. But if you can maybe stretch all the way, keep your upper body quiet. So heavy head. Inhale, exhale. And now bring your hands onto your tibia, press so that you can find a long spine. This time your legs will come straight. So if you need to lift, to bring your hands onto your thighs, do so. And then press into your hands so you can reach your heart forward, neck in line with the spine. Inhale, exhale. Now bend your knees and come into seated. So our hands are on our thighs. We're tilting in the hips, in the knees, and our spine is straight. So if your balance is off here, reach your arms forward. Otherwise, keep your hands onto your thighs and let's go sit a little bit deeper. Observe your feet on the floor. So there's a lot of weight into the heels here because we're leaning back. Maybe you can go a little bit deeper. And then press into your feet. And this time, activate your back muscles from your bum, from your legs, and come all the way up. Take a breath in and a breath out. So this time our feet are in our mountain pose, so as wide as your hips or big toes together, whatever works for you. And we're gonna inhale and reach the arms up. Bend your right elbow, place the left hand onto your right elbow. And we're gonna press down. So if your shoulders are tight, you can, you can place a belt onto your left shoulder. So just in case you will need that. So I wanna open my armpits here. I wanna make sure I have space for my head. So if you're pressing your head forward, you're gonna have to move your arms a little bit away from each other. And maybe for you, you need to take, not on the elbow, but just beside it. So from here, bring the left arm to the left, turn the palm to the back, and then reach. So possibly you can reach your fingertips or maybe even interlace your hands. If not, take the belt in one side into your right hand, the other side into your left hand, and we're gonna use that. So you're gonna pull with your left arm down and then pull with your right arm up, and maybe you can walk a little bit closer to each other. So opening the right armpit. If you can have some movement into the left shoulder, opening that left shoulder as well. If you don't have the strap, just stay here, but imagine you have a strap. And then very slowly release. Inhale, reach the arms up. Bend the left, press down. So this might be enough for some people to just be here, opening the shoulders, both armpits facing forward. And then bring the right arm to the side. Turn the palm to the back. This will turn your shoulder. And then bend your elbow and see where you're at. So for me, one side very different than the other. So I had an injury in my left shoulder, which is still there. But this feels really good. So if you're holding onto the strap or imaginary strap, it's pulling those two hands together and breathing. And then slowly release. So let's stand a little bit wider this time, not too wide, and just release your arms, release your legs a little bit, and then just start to turn from one side to the other. So make sure that you lift the opposite heel towards your turning. Keep your arms very heavy. So your arms are just flopping. There's totally no control, as if you had no bones into your arms. And then coming back to center. Separate the feet a little bit wider, turn the toes out, bring the hands onto the hips, and then just bend one knee. So feeling the weight coming into your right foot, your knee points towards your toes, and then go to the other side. So stay here for 2 or 3. Not really bounce, but just feel like, can I feel my foot? And then just move from side to side. So are we moving just like this, a little dance? That's okay if you want to dance. Or are we really stretching out that one leg and consciously bending the other leg? So I'm just giving options. I'm not telling you what to do, just observing how you are moving. And then coming back to center and then bending both knees. So both knees should go towards your toes. Placing the hands onto the hips, maybe go a little bit deeper. So adjust your feet if needed so that your knees point towards them. Go a little bit deeper. So try not to fall forward. We really want to keep the shoulders and the hips in line. So the spine, the head is all in one line. Go a little bit deeper and then press into your feet. And again, feel how maybe the energy comes up all the way and then go down. And this time with the arms, inhaling arms up, exhaling cactus. Inhaling up. Exhaling, and every time go a little bit deeper. So take your time to move, to transition. So the end pose is not this, it's everything that we're doing. Next time we're gonna grab something on the floor. So straight back from your hip crease, come forward, and then inhale, come back up. And then back forward, and up. And then exhale, stay here. You can place your hands onto your thighs, stay here. We're leaning a little bit forward, but we're not rounding. So bring your elbows back, lift your right heel, and then bring it down. Lift your left, and bring it down. And now see if you can lift both your heels, roll the shoulders back, and then place both heels down, press into your feet, and come back up and shake it out. So bringing the feet again for your mountain pose. Make sure you have some space to move your arms. So if you have someone next to you, don't hit them, please. Hug them rather, that would be better. So from here, inhale, reach the arms up. So creating that length again in the upper body. So like we did in the beginning, so this time your legs are a little bit stronger. We work them, so we're a bit more conscious about them. So inhale, lengthening the upper body. As you exhale, open your arms to the side, bend your knees. Make sure your knees remain parallel to each other and look back. And then inhale, come back up. And exhale. So as you bend your knees, your knees probably come together, which is fine. It's an extra support. And then continue for 2 more breaths, or 2 times each side, I should say. So make it a full pose. So don't just focus on your arms or just focus on your legs, but move as one. And then last time. And then inhale. And now, staying with your legs straight, we're gonna bring the right arm back. Left hand comes on the right hip, and your right hand comes in the back. If you can grab your upper arm. And then start to twist to the side. I don't know if you can see this. So we're here, and we want to twist to the side. So if you can't reach your upper arm here, just keep your hand in your back. And then coming back, inhaling, turn. So right hand comes on your left hip to the front, left hand comes in the back, and then twist. So this is we don't have a lot of space to move here, but we can hold on to our own body to create that twist. And then coming back. Okay, so let's come to the front of the mat. Taking a breath in, roll the shoulders back. Feet solidly on the floor. Place your hands at the bony part of your spine. So where actually your hips are starting, the sacrum and everything. Fingers are down, relaxed. Roll the shoulders back, elbows back. Take a deep breath in. And first, let's drop the tailbone. So if you already have a very flat back, then there might not be very much movement here. Inhale, lengthen the spine, keeping the tailbone down. Very gently go back. So elbows are pointing back, chest is open. You can continue to look forward or you can look to the ceiling. Don't drop your head back. And we're starting at the upper part of our spine. So no crunching to the lower back. So if this is crunching and hurting, go out. Back off a little bit and find where you are today. Inhale, exhale, maybe go back. If you want, you can let your hands go and just glide them on your legs. But this usually is a nice support, especially as we go back. We don't know where we're going. So there might be fear that creates itself, or the heart opens up. Inhale, exhale. And with your next inhale, come back very slowly. And then bring your arms to the side. Gently tuck your chin. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. So bend your knees in time, placing the hands down. Bring the right leg back, and let's bring the right knee on the floor. Untuck your toes or keep your toes tucked. If you have a block and you know you might need it, take it now and place it under your right hand. So some people know that they need it. If you don't have blocks, you can use books. First of all, we want to reach our heart forward. So finding that long spine. So we're not here. It's really important. So that's why also blocks, maybe even 2 blocks might be very handy. So you can find that length. The floor can just be too far. That's okay. So from here, let's come up, place our hands onto our thighs, and then release into our hips. So opening the front of our right leg. Inhale and exhale. And then slowly coming down. Let's bring our hands down and move our left foot towards the left. So I'm just going to turn around so you can see. I don't have a lot of space in the back, but so I'm walking my left leg, my left foot out. I have my both hands or on blocks or on the floor. And then I want to do the same thing, just letting go by gravity. But here I need to hold with my hands. We're not going into a split. That would be a little bit too much. But this is working really towards. Eventually your foot moves forward and then you go into a split. At any age, we can start to do that. So watch out that your left knee points towards your left toes for now. And then press yourself back up if you were going to go down. And then open up the left foot. So you're lifting the inside of your left foot. You can put the weight onto your right hand and gently maybe direct your left thigh out. So there's going to be a limit, which will be the bony structure. So opening up. Don't sink into your right shoulder. Like our whole upper body is still long and straight. And then bring the foot back down. I'm just gonna turn again. And then walk your hands back, press your toes down, lengthen your spine. So this knee can stay bent a little bit for now because the focus is on the foot. So lengthening, maybe going a little bit more down if your body is long, but it has to go down straight. So it's not about this. And then start to lift your toes, come onto your heels, and this time lengthen your body. So again, if for you it's like, wow, this is too much, you can always take the blocks. And By the way, these blocks are made from a tree in our backyard. So if you are a handy woman, handyman, or have one, ask them to make a block for you, a block or two. So lifting the toes, long spine. So my spine is long, I roll my shoulders back, and then maybe I can go a little bit more forward, but with a straight spine. So I'm aiming to kiss my toes, which is not going to happen because my legs are longer than my upper body, but it's the intention that counts. So we're going to stay here for 3 more breaths, going into that deep stretch of the hamstrings. Make sure your left knee is straight though. And then as you exhale, bring the left foot down. Place both hands onto the floor, tuck your back toes, and we're gonna do this little hop that we sometimes do in live classes. So if you want, we're gonna come up a little bit higher and then hop and switch. Maybe you didn't see what happened, but anyway, my right foot is in the front now. My left knee is on the floor, and then walk back. So again, find your straight spine, take the blocks if you need, and then come up with your hands onto your thighs. So we can add arm movements here. Feel free to do that if you want to. I prefer to concentrate now as we are opening our body to really feel that opening into the left groin area, left front thigh. Inhale and exhale. And then slowly bring the hands down, walking your hands back again. Take the blocks if you need. This, we're still pressing the toes down. So if my right leg is not straight, I know we forgot something, we'll get there. So pressing the toes down. And then lifting the toes, and this time, straight leg. So it's very well possible that you are here because of your hamstrings. Respect your body here. If you want to push too far, first of all, what you will most probably do is start to round your spine. So we're actually not doing anything different than having the spine straight. But if you're going further, then your hamstrings are at their max and they're going to start pulling on your lower back. So you don't want to go there. So let's stay here for 3 more breaths, lengthening the upper body. And then placing your right foot back down and bringing your hands on the inside of your right foot, walking your right foot out. So hands are on the floor or on a block. Reach your heart forward, creating that length first, and then start to bend your elbows. So your elbows are going back. If for you that's not accessible today, just stay where you are, but make sure that you feel some opening into your groin area so that we're really opening that inside of our legs. And then slowly pressing yourself back up. And this time lifting the inside of your right foot so that your right knee falls out, and then you can gently press. Press gently. There is a limit. You know, you can push as much as you want. It's not gonna, you're gonna fall over, but your hip is not gonna open up more. And then coming back to center, bring the right foot back to its position in the center, and then bend your back knee and bring your right knee back. Both hands, fingers wide open, wrist underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Make sure you have enough space to have a natural spine. And then let's just start to move with the hips from one side to the other. So imagine your spine, if you can, that stays nice and long about until the middle of your back, or maybe a little bit lower. And it's just the lowest part of your spine that's moving from side to side. And then coming back to center, and now we're gonna do the same part of your spine moving, but by bringing the tailbone down and the tailbone up. So it's really the lumbar spine, which is 5 vertebrae, and probably 2 or 3 from the middle spine, which is a thoracic spine, that's moving here. So lifting up, dropping the belly button. You will not get very far because the rounding happens in the upper back as you do a full cat-cow. But so it's moving from dropping the belly button to pressing the belly button up, dropping the tailbone. And then now inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the belly button. And then start to lengthen your spine, roll the shoulders back, and then reach forward. So looking forward, lengthening the neck. And then exhale, drop the tailbone, lift the belly button, press into your hands. So it's really 1 vertebrae at a time. And now you will feel rounding in your spine. So the rounding usually happens middle and upper spine. And then, of course, the neck with the chin to the chest. So stay here for 1 more breath. Press into your hands. And then inhale, going for 3 cycles of breaths, cat and cow. And then coming back to center. Let's stretch our right leg out, press the heel back, keep the hips parallel to the floor, and then bring the knee down. Stretch our left leg out, and then bring the knee down. Bring your hands a little bit more to the front. Stretch out both legs and come into your plank. So shoulders are above the wrists in your plank, and see if you can find that lifting up of the upper spine. And then your tailbone is going to move. So we're not sinking into our spine. Our tailbone is going to move towards our heels. Strong toes, press the heels back. Take a breath in. If you need to come onto your knees, you come onto your knees. And then bring the knees down. And press yourself into child's pose. We're not going to stay here. I know for some people, child pose is not comfortable. So you're just going to press yourself back, keeping the hands onto the floor. And most probably your heels are not going to touch your bum. So lengthening the spine, rolling the shoulders out as we are doing when we're in downward dog, and finding that length into our spine. Inhale and exhale, long, long spine. And then inhale, come back up. And this time, pass your shoulders in front of your wrist and see how much are you collapsing here. So we want to, for now, keep the spine long. So what's going to help is if you're pulling your mat back with your hands so that your heart reaches forward. Roll the eye of the elbow to the front, so the inside of the elbow to the front, and then very slowly come down onto the floor. So place your hands at the height of your breast. So not at the shoulders, but a little bit lower. Your legs are long, your top of your feet is pressing into the floor, looking down, roll the shoulders back, elbows back. And then inhale, very gently lift your body. So lift your shoulders, lift your head, lift your chest. Your pubic bone remains on the floor. You can support yourself slightly into your hands, but don't go roll the shoulders forward. Inhale, exhale down. One more time. So roll the shoulders back, start to inhale, come up. And then as you exhale, come down. So different sensation, place your hands underneath your shoulders now. So you bring them a little bit more to the front. Roll the shoulders back, elbows back. And then press into your hands without rolling the shoulders forward. So shoulder blades move back. Keep the pubic bone on the floor. So you might feel a little bit more compression in the lower back. Maybe it's purely because you're higher. But when we have the hands at the height of the breast, we can pull our chest a little bit more forward and create more space into our spine. So come back down. Release your hands to the back for a moment. Interlace your hands at the back of your body. And then if this is not accessible for you, you're going to place the palms of your hands down alongside your body. So from here, roll the shoulders back and pull your arms back, and that's what's going to help you to lift. And keep on breathing here, pulling the arms back. If you want to go a little bit further, you can lift your legs. So long legs, big toes together, maybe lifting the thighs as well. Keep on breathing. Maybe go a little bit higher. And then release. Separate your feet. Make a pillow with your hands and place your forehead or your chin onto your pillow. Taking a few breaths here. So see if you can relax here. Letting go. And now, place your hands under your shoulders, come up just a little bit, and then we're gonna bend the right elbow and point bend the left elbow, point the left fingers towards the right corner, and then come back to the center. So we're leaning onto our left forearm. And then we're gonna bend the left knee and grab our left foot. And then pull your left foot back. So if you can't reach your foot, grab your pants, and otherwise bend your knee and just work like this. So hold on here and then pull your foot back, opening that right shoulder. Maybe you want to lift the thigh a little bit to create an opening on the left groin area. So don't go too far, watch out for your lower back here. We just want to use our foot to open our right shoulder and then come back down. And then change sides. So right elbow under the right shoulder, elbow is bent, fingers point to your left corner. And this time, bend your right knee, grab your right foot with your left hand and pull the foot back so that your left shoulder is going to open up. And then release. And let's come back down. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, and come into our tabletop. So move slowly. And then what movements do you need to do now? You can go do whatever, but move slowly. We just did a few back bends. So you want to be very careful with the vertebra. Maybe do a couple of cat and cows or just random with your head, your spine. Maybe moving even forwards, backwards, really feeling like, what does my body need? And as long as you don't move, you most probably don't know what your body will need. So if you start to move a little bit and like, oh, okay, no, oh yeah, this, let's go a little bit deeper here. So it's a real exploration. And then walk your hands back. So we are going to go and sit into our hero pose, which is, so to start, don't bring the big toes together. So we want to bring the feet to the side, but the toes are still pointing back. So you don't want to have the inside of your feet onto the floor. You want to have the tops of your feet onto the floor. Your knees are going to stay together if that's accessible. Most probably you will need a pillow or a block to sit on, because for most people, just going and sit between your feet, because we're not sitting on the heels here. The heels are to our side. So if this is too much for your knees, you're gonna need to prop yourself up. So adding blankets underneath, between the thighs and the calf, so that you can really sit high. And for some people, you're really gonna sit really high, and that's really okay. So the first thing that we are gonna feel most probably is our thighs. So sit straight, make sure your toes are pointing back. So again, if you think about it, the toes are in line with your knees. Always important when you start to bend your knees. Take a breath in. And now press your knees down. So the knees have to stay on the floor the whole time. And then start to walk your hands back. So if you're sitting on something, maybe you're gonna need to lift yourself up a little bit to find a bit of space, or maybe you're gonna need something to put your hands on. So depending on how high you are. And then you can continue to walk back, maybe bending the elbows at a certain moment, opening the chest, keeping the knees onto the floor. Maybe eventually you're gonna come onto your forearms. If you're that far and you're sitting on something hard, I would stay here, because you can go further, but the block or whatever heart you're sitting on is not going to give in. And so that's going to be too much pressure on your tailbone. So if you're sitting on something soft or sitting on nothing, which is a deep stretch for the knees, then you can continue to go down. And don't worry, this is an advanced pose. But it's a really good opening for our quadriceps, the groin, the whole front of the body. And so the quadriceps needs to be strong to support our knees. And so very often as we run and we do biking, and so our quadriceps are short. They're strong and they're short. But we need to leave a little bit of space so that the kneecaps can move in a safe way. So this is a very good pose, but it's a quite advanced pose. So don't go all the way down if you're not ready for that. Eventually, I'm going to be really relaxed, resting on the floor, my arms overhead. So, but if you're here or here, it's all fine. What's going to hold you back 90% of the time is the stretch in the calf muscle. So if you're here, you will feel the stretch, I'm pretty sure. So wherever you are, take another few breaths. If there is pain, you will not be able to release, because then we're holding on. It's our nervous system that does that. So if there is pain, protect by freezing. So then maybe you have to come up a little bit, or maybe you just have to focus a little bit more into your exhale and release. And then slowly place both your hands down and come up equally. So we don't want to wiggle ourselves up. And then walk your hands to the front. It's not my knees who are squeaking, it's the floor. And then come back into your tabletop, and then maybe now just stretch out one leg, maybe move a little bit with your ankle, and then stretch out the other, move a little bit with your ankle, or whatever else you need to do. So now the downward dog is really going to feel good. So separate your fingers, press the thumb and the index, Tuck your toes and start to press into your hands, lifting the hips up. So I'm here, my head is still quite in the front, my knees are bent. This is absolutely not a downward dog, but it's a work in progress. So press into your hands, bring your head between your arms. So as you do that, your shoulders roll out, the inside of your elbow moves to the sky. You continue to press your thumb and your index into the floor. Don't curve your spine. So if you curve your spine, it pulls onto your hamstrings, which might be the feeling you want to get, but we want to keep our spine neutral. So just observe for a moment, what is a neutral spine? So lifting the hips up, lengthening, rolling the shoulders out. Keep the knees still bent. And then start to gently walk your dog. So go as fast or as slow as you need in this moment. Bringing maybe the heel closer and closer towards the floor, keeping the upper body long. And then inhale, lift both heels. Lengthen your legs if your hamstrings allow it. And then press again into your hands. Maybe your head will come a little bit more towards the center, but watch out that you're not just sinking in between your shoulders. So your shoulders are rolled out, your upper back is wide, so that your spine can remain straight. And then exhale, bring both heels towards the floor. Inhale, exhale. Bring the weight onto the left leg, and with your big toe, so the big toe and the second toe is gonna come onto the back of your heel. And just, I know you can't really press them together or anything, but just to have that impression of pushing the heel down a little bit more. So the weight is on the left leg. Your right leg, your right foot is lifted, toes are grabbing the back of your foot, of your ankle, and then change sides. So in the meantime, we're standing in our downward dog. So grab with your toes, press your heel down. So it's just an indication. The left foot is not really gonna do anything, but it's just an indication. And then bring both feet again next to each other. We're gonna lift the right leg up as high as you can without changing anything in our upper body. So lift it up. If you're here or here, you wanna have a straight leg, toes pointing down. So flex your foot, press into your arms. And then exhale, bend your knee and bring your right foot in between your hands. Left foot is on the, left hand is on the floor. So, and again, lengthen your upper body. Reach your right arm up and open up. So go very slowly from your tailbone. Start that movement of unrolling. And then reach your right hand up, press into your left hand, create that space between both your hands. Inhale, maybe you can sink a little bit deeper, keeping the back leg straight. If you need to, bring the knee down. You can look up if your neck allows it. And maybe you can start to lean back a little bit with your upper body without dropping your right knee out. And then coming back. Placing both hands down, coming into your plank. If you need a break here, go into child's pose. Otherwise, bring your knees down, bend your elbows, elbows going back, bring your chest down and your chin down. And then pull yourself through towards your cobra. And then exhale, downward dog. So again, find your dog. We're gonna give our wrist a rest in a minute, so lift your left leg up, and again, as high as you can. So continue pressing into your hands. Long upper body, long right leg. Foot is flexed. Press a little bit higher. And then exhale, bring the left foot in between your hands. Right wrist underneath the right shoulder. Press your right heel back. Lengthen your upper body as you inhale. Exhale. And then from your tailbone. So if you prefer, don't use your arm to start, but start really to feel that spiraling up from your tailbone all the way, opening up towards the left side, and then only at your arm. Sometimes the arm is just going to throw us back. So strong supportive arm, long upper body. Maybe you can lean back a little bit. And then slowly coming back to the center. And this time, hop your right foot forward. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, folding forward. And just feel, how does this forward fold feel now? Relax your wrists, so just shake them out here, shake your head out. See if you can lengthen your legs, but keep your upper body relaxed. Placing the hands onto your hips, bend your knees, lengthen your upper body, and then very slowly press yourself up. And release, shake it out. So again, we don't move very fast and we don't do a lot of moves, but by staying a little bit longer, we can really go to a certain depth within our body. And I think in the end, that's really important. We can approach everything with patience and just let it go. We know that if we need to, we can move fast and it's not going to be so precise. But let's take this time that we offer ourselves to really go a little bit deeper. So with the same approach, we're going to go into our tree pose. So one step up at a time. Wherever you end up into your tree doesn't matter. You have to feel it from the roots all the way to the branches, to the leaves. So feet touching the floor. Strong mountain pose. So strong is not stiff. There's still some movement in it. Taking a breath in. And then placing the hands onto your hips. And let's bring the weight onto the right leg or the other leg, whatever comes first for you. So just testing the grounds of our stability, just lifting your left heel just a little bit and see what happens. Are you already sinking in? Are you wobbling? So just testing it, and so you know. And then opening up the left knee, the left hip, and very often people already are there or they're already in the pose because they know what's coming. So let's stay in this very moment of doing step by step. If you want to, it's your practice. And then choose the height of your foot. So you really want to bring it below or above the knee, or if you need more stability, toes on the floor, heel onto the inside of your lower leg. So if you're coming all the way up, you want to press your foot into your thigh and your thigh into your foot. And very often our pants are slippery. So that's one thing. But if the more you press thigh and foot together, the pants is gonna have no slippery slope anymore. So strong supporting leg, keep your hands onto your hips. There is one further variation that you could do if you're comfortable sitting in lotus, so cross-legged. Then you can move your knee down, bring your foot into your groin area, so the sole of your foot is actually facing up. And again, those slippery pants don't always help. So you can definitively hold onto your foot here. So give it a try if you want to. Explore a little bit. Just make sure that your mountain pose remains a mountain pose. So otherwise, just go at another spot. So this is really the pressure that's keeping us all balanced. Here, there's a lot of muscle work into the hip stabilizers. So every position is different. Maybe you always go here and you say, oh, I really want to try here, but it's gliding. So hold on to your foot, but start to really press. And you see that I'm like wobbling. I usually like to keep my hands onto my hips. When you're stable, so make sure you put a lot of stability into that supporting leg. So lengthening up, the core is important, the chest is open. If you're stable, you can reach your arms up, or you can be a cactus today. So arms are cherry on the cake. So if you're moving too much, keep your hands onto your hips. Make sure you check in from time to time with that supporting leg. And let's stay here for 3 more breaths. And then with your next exhale, bring your hands onto your hips. Let's bring the left knee forward. So we're still on our standing leg. Extend your left leg forward. So press your heel away. And then very slow, I'm just gonna turn around. So weight your legs straight. We're gonna move the leg to the back. So lots of stability on one leg. You might be tired. So if you're tired, keep your toes on the floor, straight line from the crown of your head towards your back heel. If you still have some gusto into your supporting leg, you can bend your knee here and start to tilt forward. So in one straight line coming into your warrior tree or any variation thereof. So if you have a wall or something, you might want to hold on to that in the front if it's necessary. So long spine, press the heel back, toes pointing down, and then slowly coming back. So let's move to the other side. So find stability into your left leg. So just lifting very casually your right heel, just to check in. How is your stability? Maybe you just have to adjust your foot a little bit, making sure you touch with the 4 corners, activate your left leg, and then open your right hip, right knee. And ideally you go to the same height. So just observing one side can be very different than the other. If you're falling out, maybe use a wall or a chair or something to just hold you on. Not lean on, but just holding on. So take your time to find your pose. Don't start to play with your arms too soon. So you want to really find that balance. And then for a moment, before you bring your arms up, just focus on a point on the floor that doesn't move. And wait until your breath is calm before you start to reach your arms up. So an indication of balance is that your breath becomes very calm, your mind is very calm. You can't think and balance at the same time. Now with your next exhale, bring the hands back onto the hips. Move your knee forward. Press your heel away. So see if you can stretch out the leg. Lift a little bit higher. And then swing your leg through. Keep the foot flexed. Maybe your toes want to touch the floor to keep the balance. Otherwise, tilting from the hips. So not rounding the spine. So we want to, you can bend your knee, your left knee for a little bit more stability. Eventually, you're going to lengthen it out again. So lengthening the spine. Be gentle with yourself. We stayed a long time in those balancing poses, so totally normal. that the muscles are saying hello. And then slowly coming back and release. Separating the feet, this time quite wide. Placing the hands onto your hips. So make sure you're on your mat with your feet. And then we're going to turn the right toes towards the short side of our mat. Left toes point to the long side. Bring the hips back parallel with the long side of your mat. So as we move the toes to the right, often we're going to have the tendency to move our hips to the side. So keep them parallel with the side of your mat. So maybe you have to adjust your right foot a little bit. And then start to bend your right knee. And then press into your right foot, lengthen the right leg, and then gently bend the left knee. So watch out here, because as we bend the left knee, we don't want to go too far. Again, for this alignment, toes and knee. So lengthen your right leg, gently bend, and then start to move a little bit between those two, just to feel how the weight is distributed here. And then lengthen the back leg and start to bend the front knee a little bit more. Press the outside of your back foot into the floor. You should really, like, if you focus, like really press to the outside of your back foot without lifting the inside. And then press the front foot into the floor. And then for a moment, imagine that you want to bring your 2 feet together. So just that energy that comes into your center. So pressing, pulling these legs together, but continuing to press the feet down. And then coming a little bit deeper, and then reach your arms out. Looking at your front arm, turn the palm up, and then inhaling, opening up. Let's make this a little movement. So exhale, back into your warrior 2. Keep your front knee at the same height, bend. Exhale. Inhale one more time. And exhale. And this time bend your front elbow and reach your arm up. So first of all, reach up and make sure again that this back leg is super strong. Don't lean too much into your right leg. And then move your arm forward. So as if someone is pulling at your left arm, you want to feel that length. So don't fall forward, but keep on opening up. If you want to go further, you can place your hand onto the floor, onto a block. Don't sink too much into your hips. And then slowly come back up into your warrior 2. Place your hands on your hips, turn your right toes to the long side and your left toes to the short side. Adjust your hips. So find your position here. And again, we're going to play between the 2 legs. So bend your left, stretch your left, bend your right. So just feeling here, if you can keep the weight of your feet equal as you're just bending the knees. And then lengthen your right leg, bend your left. Make sure your left knee points towards your left toes. Press the outside of your back foot, open your arms, look at the left hand, turn your palm up, and then go for 3 breaths. Inhaling to warrior 4 without moving anything into your legs. So keeping that stability into your legs. Inhaling up. And last time. And down and bending the elbow. Maybe go a little bit deeper, but with control, reaching the right arm up. So hardly any weight here. Make sure you're not falling forward. So you want to keep that upper body strong and long. And then start to reach forward. So palm turns down, reach forward from your heel to your fingertips. And then very slowly coming back into your warrior 2. This time, lift your back heel and turn towards The left, reach your arms up and then bring your hands down. Come into your plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to come down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog to come up. And then exhale, downward facing dog. And because it's Saturday, it's pigeon day. So inhale, exhale. So if pigeon is not accessible for you from lying down onto your belly, go onto your back. I'll show you in a minute. So lift the left leg up, bend the left knee and bring the left knee behind or a little bit outside your left wrist. And as you're coming down, you're gliding your back leg back. Maybe you can bring that left lower leg a little bit more to the front. Make sure there's a right angle between your lower leg and your foot. And then adjust, use props. If you're floating here, you will have to hold and you won't be able to release. So you need to be able to rest on something. And then let's walk our hands back, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, and then very slowly, let's unroll our spine to the front to come into our pigeon pose. So make sure your forehead rests on something. So maybe you want to make fists or take a block, or you can reach all the way down. The aim is to be able to let go into this pose, okay? So if you need to be propped up, you're propped up. If you're holding your one muscle, whether it's in your hips or your knee or whatever, you will not be able to release. If this is not accessible for your knees because the whole weight of our body is there, then you're gonna go to what they call the number 4. So you place your left ankle on top of your right knee and you bring your hands behind your right thigh. And then you keep your lower back, your sacrum as much as possible onto the floor. You can also grab your left foot and your left knee and then bring it closer to you and gently press with your right leg to open up. So wherever you are, breathe, find a release with every exhale. We'll stay here for at least 5 more breaths, so let it go, enjoy. And then very slowly bring your hands closer. Start to push into your hands. Tuck your back toe and let's come back into your downward dog. So maybe dance your dog a little bit, walk your dog, whatever you need, and then find your downward dog again. So we don't want to use the downward dog just half as a transition pose, but every time going into the full pose. This is such a wonderful pose. It's a super balance between strength and stretching, and it's an inversion, so it's good for our health. And it's not an easy pose. And you continue to discover, but eventually you find that perfect balance between the energy coming from your hands towards your hips and then the downward energy from your hips towards your feet. And once you find that balance, then it's going to be such a restful pose. But you don't have to believe me. Explore. So now let's lift the right leg up. Bend your right knee and bring the right knee behind your right wrist. And then again, walk back. So I have a bad knee here, so I'm just gonna keep my foot in line with my knee for the moment, and I'll turn on my back in a moment. So walk your hands back, roll the shoulders back, And then slowly start to move forward. So what I'm doing here with my foot in line with my knee is actually not doing any opening for my hip. So I'm just want to tell you that in case you're looking at me and you want to do the same, you probably won't feel anything. So go into your full expression of your pose. Otherwise, come onto your back, bend your right knee, and bring your right leg, lower leg, your knee and your foot towards your chest. So option to keep the hands behind the thighs or to grab your right foot, right knee, and gently press with your left leg on to your right leg. So don't press too much so that your lower back lifts. Just be gentle. So let's stay here for 3 more breaths. Wherever you are, whether you're in pigeon or on your back. And then from your pigeon, tuck your back toe. And again, slowly come up into your downward dog. If you're on your back, you can stay on your back. Just bring both knees into your chest. So just in your downward dog, just dance it a little bit. Take a breath in to find your full pose. And then exhale, bring the knees down. And then let's move around and come onto our back. So joining the ones who are already on their back, bring the knees into the chest. Placing one hand on each knee, bring the knees together and make gentle circles with your hips. So no effort here, just moving the femur into the hip socket and then changing direction. And then coming back to center. Let's bring the right leg over the left. So as if you're sitting in a chair. Relax your feet. We don't have to do anything. And then open your arms into a T or in a cactus, depending how much space you have. Take a breath in. And then, so your right leg is over the left. So we're going to move towards the left side. So the weight of your right leg is going to help to rotate maybe a little bit further. Keep your right shoulder on the floor. And if you want, you can look to the right. So inhale, exhale. If you're very bony, you might want to put something under your left hip. There's the weight of your right leg, really bringing that down. So, and just release, no pushing, no effort. Let the gravity play. So one thing you could do if you feel that your shoulder is popping up, not if the shoulder is popping up about a foot, then don't do what I'm going to say. But if the shoulder is just like an inch or two from the floor, if you want to practice this is a beautiful rotation in the spine and it's also very releasing. You can always take a bag of flour or sugar, or if you have sandbags, place them on your right shoulder. And so the weight of that is going to really allow you to twist into the spine with the weight of the right leg. So, of course, never go too far. And then with your exhale, releasing more and more. And then very slowly coming back up. So your left foot is probably on the floor. Take your right leg off from your left. Reposition yourself if you need to. Bring the knees into the chest. And this time left comes over right. So really crossing the legs. And then very slowly bring the legs towards the right, keeping your left shoulder on the floor. So if the floor is really too far and you have to hold into your hips, first of all, both your feet can touch the floor. But if you want some support, place a block, place a blanket, something, so that you can softly go into this twist without holding. Same principle if you're holding somewhere here. And it can also be that you're holding into your breath. So just observe. You will not be able to release. You can look to the left. Let's stay for 2 more breaths here. And then very slowly coming back to center, unwrap your legs. Separate your feet as wide as your mat, so your knees are still bent. And we're just gonna move the legs gently from side to side, so they don't have to go all the way down. It's just to release a little bit in the lower spine. If there is anything else that you prefer to do now, please go ahead. And then coming back to center, and bring the knees into the chest, wrapping your arms around, taking a breath in, exhaling through the mouth, letting go. One more. And exhaling. And then slowly lengthening out your leg. One heel in one corner. Just don't cross your legs. And then let your feet flop out. Make sure you're comfortable onto your tailbone or your sacrum, or whatever is comfortable for you. If your lower back is irritated or is annoying you, place something under your knees. So your knees are bent. This is going to bring the lower back a little bit more to the floor. If it's not enough, then you can always place your legs up on the sofa. So bend legs, lower legs on the sofa or the chair. And then bring your arms about halfway between a T and alongside your body. Palms up. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, allow your body to sink, to slowly rest onto the floor. It's that fine line between collapsing and holding. So for a moment, observe your body and feel where the body is touching the floor. And are there places where I'm really just pushing down because I want to relax so much that I'm pushing down? So if you observe that, just release, exhale, release, let go in the muscles. Or are there places maybe where I just feel that there is almost a discomfort from the pressing of the floor into my body? So this is a more difficult one because there's more pressure where there is more weight, like in the bum or the upper back or the calf muscles, depending. So it's just finding that balance. So really getting to know your body, the sensations of your body, I should say. And then make sure your forehead is relaxed, your face is relaxed, your ears are dropping back as well. If you want to stay here in the comfort of your home, please do so. Otherwise, start to take a breath in and a breath out, just to reconnect with your own breath and slowly with your body. And moving the toes very gently, the fingers, the nose, maybe gently rolling your head from side to side. And bring the head back to center, lengthening out your legs, so bring them a little bit closer and taking a deep breath in. And as if you were standing, so flexing the feet, pressing your heels away, lengthening your arms overhead, taking a deep breath in. Maybe you wiggle as if you wake up in the morning, taking a breath in, and as you exhale, bring the knees into the chest. And you can roll from side to side or roll over to one side, whichever is more comfortable. And then very slowly at your own pace, make your way up into a comfortable seated position. Keeping the hands onto your thighs. Feeling a freedom in your spine. Keeping the eyes closed. Looking inside. Bring one hand onto your heart, so physical or emotional heart, and the other hand on top of it. If you feel your heartbeat, let's be grateful to be alive, to be able to practice, to continue to practice. If you feel a warm heart, love, let's be grateful that we can do this all together still. And then bring the palms together if that's okay for you, gently tucking the chin. I want to thank you very much for being here all together. And I wish you a wonderful day. Namaste.